Welcome back to the lab. It's Sunday Arvo. Now, everyone likes a bit of drama, don't we? We all love it on the internet, so you can all have your say about, you shouldn't say that, you should have done this, you should have done that. So, the best drama I can come up with for what was actually a pretty good weekend. Everyone was happy, and I got no gripe with anyone in particular. But let's make it drama for the internet, why don't we? So, first things first, I owed a chap by the name of Brett a ride in the race car. He made a donation to a charity, and I said I'd give him a ride in the car. So, the plan was he would have a ride in the grip session at Chrome, because we were allowed to do that, so long as the passenger had all the safety gear, same safety gear as the driver, and you drove accordingly, then that was fine. So Brett came all the way over from Tauranga, stayed the night at Rangariri pub, came along to Chrome on the Saturday morning. Stole all the gear required, got him in the car, literally sitting in the staging zone, 2 minutes away from going out on the track for the grip session, and the pin was pulled. Hampton Downs had changed rules, and we were no longer allowed to take passengers in vehicles in any form of high-speed session. So, consequently, the solution for that was we went out in the cruising session and kept it pretty reasonable, pretty sensible sort of speeds, given cruising session we're supposed to do highway speeds. So that was all right. Got that taken care of. There's no footage of it. I went out and I did the grip session by myself immediately after that. The GoPro did record it, but it's a corrupted file. Now you can upload that to YouTube and then pull it back again, and it fixes it, but not this one. So there wasn't really anything to see. I just buzzed around the track. This one guy did the old fake to the left and then decided to go to the right and then went back to the left or whatever, and it was a bit of a hairy moment there on the brakes to get past him, but whatever, it was a bit of a hairy moment. There was heaps of room. It wasn't any real danger. It was just a bit sort of, what are you doing, mate? But you get that on the big jobs. Carried on, did that, and you'll see in the previous video, the Babel video. So, and then we got through to the Sunday. So for the roll racing on Sunday, I was really looking forward to that. I thought that'd be bloody awesome fun on the international circuit there. So jumped in the car in staging there and went out there, and yeah, there were so many cars. Like, how do you manage that? So there's quite a bit of a wait out there on the track. We did our one practice run. The guys were freaking awesome. Like, I stopped by, you'll see the videos there, stopped by the entrance to the pits there in the middle of the track. It wasn't a live track anyway, and asked if we could get some water for the guys, and I think he maybe didn't hear me properly and gave me a bottle of water. So thanks, like, do appreciate it, and I'm not knocking the event in any way, shape or form with my video, but everyone loves drama. So so that was all right. Got a bottle of water, off down to the staging area to get ready for the first roll race, and the Evo that had been paired up against the fastest car there he moved, so he wasn't paired up against him anymore, so that left me. I called it a stitch up. I think it was pretty much. They should have, what do you do? Woulda, coulda, shoulda, I don't know. For entertainment's sake, it would have been better if we'd been racing someone else initially, so you get that thing out there and do a bit more, but hey, whatever. There's other cars that are just as nah, bullshit. It's one of the most entertaining cars there, I guess, isn't it? So it needs to be on display as much as we can do, but it's how it goes, whatever. So, did that. I mean, cruising around the track, come back into pits there, and there's bloody people standing around all over the place who don't give a crap about the cars that are trying to move around the pits. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting for them to move. I was just tucked around the corner a bit, so clearly they're not paying attention and not going to move. So I drove on the road, drove around the corner on the road that's clearly marked as a frickin' road, and these people still standing in the way, so I had to basically drive around them. And I needed to back up into that area, so I drove very close to them and made it pretty clear that they're kind of in the way. So the March has no centre diff. It has very grippy tyres, and if you're trying to turn, you can't just idle. You do have to run some higher revs. So I'm thinking what's happened is old mate there, standing in the road, has thought that I've been revving the engine to try and make some sort of point for him to get out of the way or whatever, which isn't the case. Of course, then he sticks his head in the door. This is just after the roll racing, so I wasn't exactly happy, Glenn. I wasn't mega pissed going to punch someone, Glenn, but I was like, didn't need idiots being idiots. And you might hear the dialogue. It's a bit hard to hear. Basically asked how things were going. I just sort of said, oh, an Evo bloody jumped out of his lane that he had been in and left us racing the fastest car, so we got kind of stitched up. Old mate goes, oh, there's no need to be a dick about it. And I thought about chewing his ear off, and I thought, no, because, I'm kind of outside a sponsor's tent and kind of wearing the hat, and it's on the car and that, so you can't be seen to be that guy, but it took me by surprise. It's pretty simple. Motorsport event, stay out of the way of the cars. You're there to see the cars. Don't make life difficult for the people driving the bloody cars. Just get out of the bloody way. There's some drama for you. Drama. Anyway, was actually a good event. There's only... The spark plug going bad was probably worse than the blimmin' roll race thing and the idiot in the pits. So, it's not actually... don't take it as me being pissy about it, but internet drama, I should actually have the headline about idiots or something, shouldn't I? Let's do that. Alright, watch all this crap. Thanks for watching. Cheers, boy.
to get some water up there because I've just been sitting in the car for 45 minutes.
Drink the water.
Yeah. Where's he gone? Stitcher!
Back a little bit.
Oh, it was a Stitcher! Where did he go?
I know.
No, this is bullshit. I'm not getting wiped out straight away. Yeah. We should be racing at the end. We're probably the two fastest. It's fucking dumb doing this.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I know. It's a big game. I agree, mate.
Got no beef with you, man. You were just here in the line, but where's the other gone?
He's right behind me.
No, that's dumb. Now, if they're going to... like he didn't want to race the fast car, so he moved on, so I had to race the fast car. That's bullshit.
Oh, I'm not sorry, dude. I'm just. Recording from the roll racing, the only roll race we got to do, the one we got to do a practice, and then we got put up against Deceiven because some little Mitsubishi Evo was no longer staged up against Deceiven for whatever reason. I don't know if he jumped across to the right-hand lane on purpose or whether he was directed to do that, but we were certainly directed to race against Deceiven for our first race, which I thought was pretty crap and made my thoughts on that very clear at the time. So data logging is awesome, and here's some data that was logged, and we are supposed to start our roll races at 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, and here we are going 71 with where's my throttle? See, this is part throttle, this is where we go full throttle, so this is where the light went green right here at 75 kilometers an hour. It's not between 40 to 50, that's 75. That's 50% faster than what is the recommended speed that we should be doing. So that has serious negative consequences when you're not set up and prepared and expecting that. And this is ironic, isn't it? Because when I raced James last time, this is not James that we're racing this time. When I raced James last time, I was doing 60 kilometers an hour. I thought that was funny. Now, I was taking the piss because the previous race that I'd had with him, he left us doing all of about 10 to 15 kilometers an hour at the roll at the start initially. And even the commentator said, so slow in the left lane. So I thought I would have sweet revenge. Now, Deceiven, I don't think he's buddies with 40 PSI, and I don't know if this was intentional or accidental or whether there was something, I haven't spoken to him. Maybe there was something going on. He thought he was going to follow me or something, and it was just some sort of an accident. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. He probably would have beaten us regardless. But here's what happens when you start at 75k an hour. You mash on your throttle. You're not actually totally aware that you're doing 75k an hour because you're busy watching, keeping pace with the car on your right hand side. First gear first gear does 100 kilometers an hour in the march. So you get on the throttle, whack, half a second later you've hit the rev limiter. Barely any time to do anything about it. We're talking rev limiter. So then there's a cut decay time. So we can scroll just to the right, just a tiny little bit. Bang, there. We've had an activation delay, then we've had the actual limiter at just, way up there, 8 grand-ish, and then there's a cut decay time. Now, if you look at the manifold air pressure, the effect that has, all this time here we're losing boost, we're losing power. Look at the, this is our longitudinal acceleration. It's actually around the wrong way, so it's showing negative as in deceleration, but I need to just change a setting in the ECU by 180 degrees to get that into the positive where it should be. Pardon me, but this will do. We understand that it's the same number, it's just on the negative value instead of positive. So we're going, not very good traction there on the day actually. We're going due to wheel spin, as you can see. Wheel spinning, 0.781, and then shenanigans happen down here, and look at what happens to the acceleration. Bye-bye, away it goes. We're barely accelerating there at all, and so I bang into second gear, and as it turns out, when everything's running properly and going nicely and that, we're just shy of a full G of acceleration in second gear, which we should have easily been able to achieve in first. And as you can see, actually banging it into third gear, we're still up there, getting close to a G of acceleration. That's probably at peak torque, I guess. If you looked up the dyno chart and had a look at this number here, you'd probably find that this peak G would be peak torque. Little bit of wheel spin all the way through second gear. Not massive amounts. It's just the right amount probably to get your maximum sort of traction. So by the time we're here somewhere in this general ballpark, I don't know his name, sorry, the fellow driving Deceiving, he's gone. He's just hauling away from us. It's over and done with, all because we just got off to just a terrible start here because we weren't doing things right. It seems to be what happens with the roll racing. It's supposed to be just fun, right? But there's this line in between it being just fun and then at the other end of the scale here, like this is fun and this is serious, and all this stuff in the middle here gets all yucky because it's not quite done right and people aren't playing the game quite right and the rules aren't really being followed right. It just gets a bit frustrating, but never mind, that's how it is. So yeah, apologies to people who are hoping to see a bit more of a display from the March. It didn't happen, and that's basically why.
There's too much traffic anyway.
I can't see.